Gas prices aren't confusing by accident. They're confusing by design. Every time prices spike at the gas pump, the narrative gets pushed like this. Blame the gas station, blame greedy oil, blame anything visible and easy to point at. Meanwhile, real drivers are stuck with paying way more than they planned, and these layers of complexity, most people don't even think about how to untangle. So drivers are left staring at the pump, wondering why prices jump overnight, why one station is cheaper than the next one, and who's actually cashing in. So here's the reality. The system is built so you don't ask too many questions. How convenient. Start with the most obvious target, the gas station. It's also the most misunderstood. Stations don't have the pricing power people think they do. They're reacting, not dictating. The price you see on the sign is tied to wholesale fuel costs, not as rack prices. In other words, they get told by the distributor what they're going to pay to refill the tank again. And that can change literally daily, sometimes multiple times a day. Those costs are driven by global oil markets, refinery capacity, supply disruptions, and yes, speculation. That station on the corner isn't setting the market, it's trying to survive it. Margins are razor thin. On average, stations make somewhere between 15 and 35 cents per gallon, and that's before operating costs. In many cases, they make more money selling you coffee, snacks, and whatever else you buy in the store than they do actually selling the fuel. It's what they call a lost leader. Gasoline gets you on the lot. The convenience store keeps the lights on. And so no, your local station owner isn't getting rich every time the prices go up. Now layer in competition. Gas stations cluster together for a reason. The pricing is a street fight. If one drops prices, the other follows fast. That creates a constant cycle of undercutting, adjusting, and reacting. And in some markets, prices spike and then slowly fall over days as stations compete for volume before the next jump resets the cycle. They are all trying to get you in their stores. That's how they're turning the lights on and paying their people. And that's why you can see wildly different prices within a few blocks. It's not random. It's hyper-local competition in real time. But zoom out and bigger forces start to show, and this is where the story really changes. Not all gas stations are created equal, and not all regions play by the same rules. Certain states require specialized fuel blends that cost more to produce before they ever reach the pump. And in limited pipeline access, transportation costs, and distance from refineries, and you start to see why some parts of the country consistently pay more and some pay less. The Gulf Coast has it easy. They're close to refining, strong infrastructure, fewer bottlenecks. The West Coast and Northeast, well, they pay higher costs, especially if you're in a rural area, tighter supply, and more exposure to disruptions. All of that means the prices get higher when you're in some little teeny town versus in a major city. And then there's the part no one likes to talk about. Taxes. The federal gas tax is 18.4 cents a gallon. It'd be nice if President Trump removed that. That would be helpful. That's just the baseline. State taxes pile on top of that depending upon where you live, and that can push the total well past 50 to 60 cents, even $1 per gallon with additional fees are included. And that's not market driven, that's policy, especially in California, and we've covered that. On average, taxes account for roughly 10 to 20% of what you pay at the pump, and unlike oil prices, those don't fluctuate with supply and demand. They're built in and they don't go away when prices spike. So when prices climb, you're not just paying more in fuel, you're paying more in tax on top of that. And yet somehow that part of the conversation rarely makes any headlines. Instead, the focus stays on oil companies and gas stations because they're easy targets. It's a lot simpler to point to a brand on a sign than to explain global supply chains, regional infrastructure limits, and layered tax policies. But those are the factors that actually are driving up the number at the pump. Even timing plays a role. One station might still be selling fuel bought at yesterday's lower price, while another has already paid more for its latest delivery. That difference shows up instantly and disappears just as fast. It all adds up to a system that looks chaotic from the outside, but follows a very specific supply chain of cause and effect. Global markets set the baseline. Refineries and infrastructure shape regional costs. Taxes add a fixed layer, and local competition adjusts that final number. And gas stations, despite the blame, are stuck in the middle trying to make it work. So no, gas prices aren't random, and they're not as simple as they're made out to be. They're the result of a system built on complexity, shaped by policy, and influenced by forces far beyond the corner station. And once you see how it actually works, one thing becomes clear. The price you're paying isn't just about fuel, it's about everything built around it, especially the taxes. Remember, your vote counts. And next time someone says they're going to lower gas taxes, they better do it. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.